Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Grevin coming to you from Chicago as usual. Oh, my Lord. Judge Simpson had a call. Judge Simpson had a call this morning. I mean, I think he's still going, but there's some good stuff. I had to soften it with a nice mellow appearance out in Kansas from Judge Gettler. But this is good stuff. Let's get it going.
Mr. Johnson, do you have a position on the adjournment given the circumstances?
Yeah, I just want my property back because she's destroying it. You know, that's why every month I got to fix
I want to thank Christopher Lakin for sending this one to me.
something. I done put 4 toilets in that house since she's been in there. She's too big. She tears them up. And it was a leak, and I told her to turn
the visual is too good. She's too big. And the guy's like trying to be gentle about it. It's even better.
Thing off behind the toilet. She didn't do it.
Okay.
And it flooded
Well,
the floor.
Okay. So certainly there are issues that might need to be litigated. My concern Court calls the case, People versus Deshauna Clemons.
Morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Andery, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of People.
Morning, Judge. Mike Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Clemons. I did see him on Zoom. Mr. Clemons, state your name for the record, sir.
DeShannon C. Clemons, present.
Okay, there you are. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, there's a few matters here to deal with. Ms. Ander and I have discussed this matter to some degree. We also received a disc from the prosecutor with some video on it. Our team of video engineers is trying to figure out how to play that disc. I'd ask the court for a brief adjournment so I can do that.
Gaddy has video engineers. Gaddy, you don't have video engineers. You got some high schoolers running around in there telling you how to do that. That's how that works, but that's okay.
Sometimes titles don't reflect qualifications.
Okay. February 16th.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ander.
9 a.m. He was here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, Mr. Clemons. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of the People versus Moses, Cunegin-Page. He was my buddy.
Morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Andery, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney on behalf of People.
Good morning, Your Honor. Zachary Ward on behalf of Mr. Cunegin-Page. Mr. Cunegin-Page, can you unmute and state your name?
Moses Cunegin-Page.
Mr. Ward, before we go on, you probably ought to advise your client that he shouldn't be rolling his joints and stuff and doing his business in front of the camera.
Judge, that advice was already passed along.
I don't smoke weed, sir. I was smoking a cigarette.
I don't know what you were rolling then. All right, go ahead, Mr. Ward.
Judge, we'd be requesting an in-person preliminary exam.
Preliminary examination in person. We will do that February 7th. Who am I? 2023, 9 a.m. before Judge Barr.
Thank you.
Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Good morning. You're Daniel Davis.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Davis, you appear in custody via Zoom, having been arrested on probable cause by the Coppeville Police Department. Their case number 23-1009 for the offenses of possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, battery, interference with law enforcement, and criminal trespass. Do you understand why you are in custody today?
Kind of, but yeah.
All right. When you are not in custody, Mr. Davis, do you still live on Brown Street in Coffeyville?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 years now.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
For a friend of mine, Chad Smith, in construction work.
Construction for Chad Smith. How long have you had that job?
About 3 months.
All right. Do you have any minor children you support?
No, sir.
Not that I support.
Are you
Okay,
currently
okay.
on probation or parole anywhere?
That's probably not
No,
fair.
sir.
Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury.
Suppose.
Some of Mr. Davis's criminal history. I have a number of convictions from, looks like 2021. An aggravated domestic battery, aggravated assault, misdemeanor battery, intimidation of a witness or victim, domestic battery. And then I have a report from the Kansas Department of Corrections showing some older offenses, including person felonies and an escape from custody back in 2008. Do you have any other relevant criminal history the court should be aware of?
I found at least 3 prior criminal threats, so I believe he
Me
has
too,
at least
brother.
5 prior person felonies.
All right, so likely to be an A box for sentencing purposes.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know what the A box is, but I think you don't want to be in it.
And does the state have a bond recommendation?
We'd ask for 5,000 cash or surety.
All right, Mr. Davis, I'm going to say your bond at 5,000 cash surety with supervision.
Okay.
You've been on supervision before in this court, I believe. What that means is if you make that bond, the very first stop that you need to make when you get out of jail is to our court service office next door, the old courthouse, the building immediately to the west of this one. All right.
Okay.
You would check in with them immediately upon your release from custody, and anytime thereafter they direct you to. Your failure to do that would be a violation of your bond, and it could result in being revoked, and you find yourself back in custody. Any questions about that?
Now, is that 5,500 with the bondsman, or is it?
Typically, that's right.
All
you
right,
get
that's
the
what I was
bondsman.
trying to ask. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you go through a bondsman, it'd typically be 10%.
Okay.
We're going to give you an application and an affidavit for a court-appointed attorney. If you want the court to appoint you counsel, fill that paperwork out, return it. If you
Yeah.
qualify financially, we'll appoint an attorney for you. You're also welcome to hire your own should you have the means to do so.
Okay.
I'd also tell you that a condition of your bond is you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victim or witness in this case.
I love the bow tie on
Okay.
Gettler. He rocks it. I don't know.
Your next court date is going to be Thursday of next week.
Okay.
That will be, looks like Thursday, February the 2nd, and that'll be at 9 o'clock in person. So if you are not in jail on that day, you need to be sure to return to court Thursday, February 2nd, 9 o'clock for a formal first appearance. You'll find out on that date what you have formally been charged with in this case. If you fail to appear, there'll be a bench warrant issued for your arrest.
Vermont in the house. I
Okay.
love it.
If you have not posted bond, they'll either bring you up from the jail or you will appear via Zoom like you did this morning. Any questions, Mr. Davis?
No, sir.
All right, anything from the state, Ms. Johnson?
No, Your Honor.
I will see you next Thursday. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
If you haven't hit like and subscribe, I just want you to know that you're hurting Jack's feelings.
Court does call the case of the people versus Isaiah Williams.
Tell me in the chat. I think I did a video on this guy like a year ago. I could never find it if I had to, but they make references to him having chips in his head, and I think I did that video.
Good morning, Your Honor. Danielle Russo Bennett, Assistant Attorney General on behalf of the people.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Danian Woodson on behalf of Mr. Williams.
Good morning, Ms. Woodson. And Mr. Williams, can you state your name?
Yes, Isaac Bernard Williams.
These are
And
people.
I want to bring to the court that I've been trying to get an understanding. I've filed several motions. I've also sent a letter to Mrs. Wilson that I wish to take a stand pro purpose with no help in regarding this matter. I have sent a letter to your court. I was hoping you might have received it by now, of that effect. It seemed to be a problem with me to represent myself. And it seemed to be that every time I file something in the court, I get no response. I keep filing a motion for discovery.
I wonder
Your
why.
Honor told me a year ago when I first was before you, when I asked for a motion for discovery, you said, and I quote, "You can get it."
Look at Judge
It has
Simpson's
been a
face.
year, and yet I have not received a motion for discovery from the prosecutor.
And everyone else.
And I was just wondering, why is there a problem? If that's part of the law, that I should be provided with a copy of the motion for discovery. And I've also asked the court, why is it a problem with me representing myself? When I feel as though that I don't feel that no one should want to block me from doing what God has asked me to do. The Holy Spirit have inspired me to stand as my own attorney. And
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
allowed me to take a stand as my own attorney and not go against the will of God. I don't think you would want to do that. And I would appreciate it if the court would take a review all of my motion. I've been brought here. An individual claimed to take that I've committed a crime. I received a letter from an individual who told me that I'm serving time. A year I've been serving time and have not been found guilty by a court. I can't understand that. I can't even get the use of a Freedom of Information because the governor of Michigan and the Freedom of Information Act order me that I cannot even get a Freedom of Information Act of my past records because I'm serving time. And I just want to know, why am I serving time and you haven't found me guilty of a crime? You haven't even want to.
Yeah, that echoes from the original video, but I think it adds to the effect. He's invoking the Holy Spirit, and he's got sort of this otherworldly vibe.
Called me before the court to even adjudicate this matter. And it's been a year. I know you love the law because you've been appointed by God to uphold the law. So I know you're not going against God's will and appointing you to uphold the law. So I'm asking you to do what God has given you to do, and that is do what? Justice, uphold the law. That's all I'm asking. If I've committed a crime, bring me before the court. Not, you understand, sitting back, you understand, saying that, well, we're trying to build a case.
Yep, in the last 2 days, he had a woman blowing up toilets, apparently, a guy rolling a doobie, and this.
It seems like to me,
among other things,
that I've been held a year to try to build a case. It seemed to me that you want to hope that somebody or some jailhouse snitch come up and say, well, I spoke to Mr. Williams, and so
all right, so you just let me know when you're done.
I sure will, because I've been asked for this opportunity to come from the court, and I appreciate your patience. I appreciate that, Your Honor. I'm so glad that you've taken patience with me.
He's actually on a nice
I'm a
range.
TBI client, traumatic brain injury, bipolar, and everything else. I'm also right now away from 3 children, asking their mother who passed away only a few days before I was incarcerated. Now they're on their own. So yes, I'm looking for what? A chance before they go to court and have a trial. You said, yes, ask for a speedy trial. Why can't I get a speedy trial? What is the problem? I can't seem to get nothing done in the court according to the law. It's just, well, we're going to ejaculate procrastination and just hold you until we get ready to take it, what? Find something to find you guilty of. Nobody understands the claimant, you understand? You got me held here for you claim a murder, but yet, you understand, I have been not shown anything but it's a murder. The court hasn't been shown as even a murder. An accusation by an individual who told me face to face that, yeah, he's getting to retire after 82 years since what? He's been since 1982 on this here case, and he still as old back in 1982 that I had committed the crime, but yet he said, now I'm a fugitive, and he has spoke to me in Michigan on 3 occasions, 3 or 4 months prior to me being incarcerated. He spoke to me in Chicago going to school, face to face.
Mr. Williams? Mr. Williams?
Won't you?
Yes, Mr. Williams.
Yes,
all right. Mr. Williams, you're starting to repeat yourself. You're starting to repeat yourself. Okay. So I'm going to stop you right now, okay?
All right, then.
Your Honor, since the issue of competency hasn't been resolved, I would ask that any incriminating remarks that were made by Mr. Williams be stricken from the record.
Well, I understand. Okay. I'll take that under advisement. I mean, he's going to say what he's going to say. But I was going to, Mr. Williams, I just want to address you, and your counsel knows and the prosecutor knows. We have to resolve the issue of whether or not you're competent to proceed further. Now, you may have your view on that, but I think there's an independent medical exam that is scheduled. Is it scheduled yet, Ms. Woodson?
Actually, it was completed last week. The report should be done next week. Yes.
Oh, okay. So the report will be done next week. So, Mr. Williams?
Your Honor.
All right. So within next week, there should be a report. And then within a certain period, then I have to hold a hearing regarding your competency. And then at that point, depending on what that report indicates, then we'll figure out exactly where we're going. Nobody's trying to delay anything. We just have to take it step by step.
Yes, Your Honor, but I believe, Your Honor, you asked the court physician on my competency, and that has been discovered as competent. And when you spoke to even the prosecutor also, Your Honor, we accept the review.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, I can't do anything until I get that report and potentially hear the argument of counsel regarding your competency, okay? I can't do anything.
Well, this is the problem. Counselors keep trying to take a delay thing, and I'm trying to take and tell counsel, I haven't hired you. I have not hired her. How can she be my counselor?
Okay.
This is
I understand, Mr.
Who employed her?
Mr. Williams, I understand everything you're telling me, but you need to listen to me. I can't do anything until I get that report.
Can you ask the attorney who employed her? Because I haven't employed her. I think that should be a question the court should.
I don't think you've employed anybody.
Mrs. Wilson.
So, all right, Mr. Williams, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to address that issue regarding your counsel. This is your attorney that's on the case, Ms. Woodson. Very good attorney. So what I'm going to do.
I haven't denied her, you understand, competency has been as a good attorney. I'm just saying that I have not employed her as my counselor, and I don't know why the court is forcing me to accept somebody I haven't employed. And they explained to her that I wish she would stand down and allow me, you understand, to go forth with the adjudication of this case. There seems to be a problem, you understand, with this, Your Honor. Do I have to write the governor? Do I have to write the president of the United States? Or do I have to take and write, you understand, everybody is required to take and get, you understand, a point across? That's the point here.
Hey, Mr. Williams? Mr. Williams.
Yes,
I hear everything you're saying. You're repeating things to me now again. So I'm going to stop you. I'm going to let you know that, first of all, you haven't employed any attorney in this case. Attorneys have been assigned to you in this case. Ms. Woodson is the attorney that is assigned to you. I'm not letting you make any determination regarding any attorney, whether or not you represent yourself or anything on this case until such time as I get the competency report. I've tried to tell you that before. I'm not going to do anything until I get it.
Your Honor, thank you.
So you can keep talking to me. You can keep talking to me, Mr. Williams. I told you what I'm going to do.
I'm just saying,
Mr. Williams, I told you what I'm going to do.
Yes.
So no matter how much talking you do, I'm not changing my mind because I can't.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So what I will do is I will adjourn this competency hearing out to February 9th, 2023. I'm going to make sure everybody gets that date. They come along with me at 9 a.m. We'll have that. By that time, we'll have the report. If it comes here earlier, we'll try to see when we can set it in accord with the statutory guidelines to deal with that. All right?
Okay.
Is there any, other than you, Mr. Williams, from council, is there anything further on this matter?
Your Honor, just so the record's clear, because Mr. Williams just talks and talks, but there was an initial competency finding last year. However, because Mr. Williams continues to make such concerning remarks, not just on this record, but in letters where he claims he is not even himself and he's got chips in his head, that is why we've had the independent. So, perhaps he should, stop making such records and we would not be here for an independent exam at this point.
Well said. All right.
Defense has nothing to add to that, Your Honor.
Ms. Woodson, do you think we'll have, I know you said the report will be here next week. Do you think we'll have it before the 9th? I just want to make sure we're not just.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so, since he's already been talked to and everything. I do believe that the biggest holdup, I think, was getting it scheduled.
The communication of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, I'll set it for the 9th. Council, if it looks like it's not going to be here,
I'll
then
let everyone know.
You can let everybody know, and certainly rather than everybody waiting and going through another hearing, we could do this on paper and do a stipulation to adjourn, and I would be more than happy to sign off on that if we adjourn it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Peace of God be with you and the family.
Thank you. Thank you,
Have a
Mr.
great day,
Ray.
everyone.
Thank you, folks. I'm sorry. Court calls the case. People versus Lawrence Vitale.
Good morning, I think.
I like that a little bit. I had to keep that in there. The next attorney. Good morning, I think. Oh, it's good stuff. Well, there you have it. Just some craziness that we've come to know and love over in Washtenaw County, and it was fun to take a little visit out to Kansas again. Not with Judge Webster this time, but with Judge Gettler. That guy was right out there. Oh, I should have pulled out my I got to get it together clip. He certainly qualified for that as well. He did, but Judge Gettler with his bow tie handled it like a champ, straightforward, professional. Fun stuff. Thank you all for coming out. I'll see you soon.